Hello everyone, my name is Clancy and welcome to the Clancy. Without further ado, let's get into this video. But before we get into the video, please do me a favor by smashing that like button, because the like button triggers the YouTube algorithm to go and fetch us some more honorable members of the clan so they can come here and rub their own two IQs together and spark their own opinions, which we get to read at the self-appointed experts comments, which is a segment outside of the main video. But anyways, guys, let's go to the Gauteng High Court in Judge Rata courtroom. You know what? To be honest with you, I don't have very much to say because there's a bit of a confusion that is going on, because I thought that, oh, by the way, before we get there, Pinky, the witness, is all right. She sounds healthy. She sounds like she is prepared. And we thought that she was going to pick up for where she left off last week, Thursday, with the Senzo Meyiwa number. But this morning, gears had changed. Of course, not a fault of her own. It is definitely the state, obviously, that changed the angle that they were taking, which was quite interesting. We did canvass this together on Sunday, on our Sunday live, that it sounds as though that Sibanda is now the defense lawyer, basically debunking rebutting the evidence of the state regarding accused number 5 contacting Kelly Khumalo, accused number 3 contacting Kelly Khumalo contacting whomever, the 5 men that stand accused of killing Senzo Meyiwa on the 26th of October 2016. And thus far, none of what she's saying on the stand proves beyond a reasonable doubt that any of these accused on this particular day, they were even near the Khumalo house. Yes, there might be some one ping and another in Fosloras, but the times, they are missed. There's like this and there's like that. And none of these readings are putting any of the accused at the same time in Fosloras. Remember, one thing that you must not forget, guys, Zungu, when he took the stand, he said they were all together. There was not a single number that went that direction and no other single number that went the other direction. But what we are hearing from Pinky, I'm not quite sure what we are hearing from Pinky, because none of it is saying that the 5 men that stand accused of killing Senzo Meyiwa were even together in Fosloras on the 26th of October 2014. So what is this whole exercise all about? Because all I am seeing here, I'm having a deja vu. Stain, holes, and now we're having Pinky just reading numbers upon numbers, phone calls. Of course, Sifiso Kutlentuli is going to have a cell phone, and that cell phone's purpose is to make contacts and receive contacts, whether in the form of a text, in the form of a call, or whatever the case might be. And that's exactly what we're hearing. I'm not quite sure where this street is. I think it's in downtown Joburg. Hose? Is it not Hose? Is it Hose? Not Hose. That street. I'm not quite sure if it's in Joburg or it's in Hillbrow or in Berea or even Yeovil. It's one of those mini cities outside of the main city of Johannesburg, or uptown, let me put it that way. But yeah, you're also hearing pingings in Kensington, other pings, just places where it's not in the Khumalo house area at all. So it is quite interesting what we are hearing, but then again, I just don't know what to tell you guys at all. Like I said, I suspect that the reason why they changed the gears, that is Sibanda or the state, is because they were starting to sound more like the defense than they were sounding like producing evidence that the 5 men that stand accused of killing Senzo Meyiwa are indeed the people that killed Senzo Meyiwa. I mean, right now we are in 2015. I think with Fiso Kutlentuli's cell phone, like, what are we doing? Really, what are we doing? Where are we going with this? And I'm quite surprised that Rata hasn't asked that question. Mr. Sibanda, where are we going with this? Mr. Sibanda is not saying much, to be honest with you, for me to come here and say, listen, guys, we have some developments from Senzo Meyiwa's cell phone number. This is what had transpired. And indeed, the state was correct to say that accused number 5 did contact Kelly Khumalo and all the other way around and that they also communicated with each other. And the thing that I find very tragic, very, very tragic and unbelievable for me is the fact that the Pinky or Vodacom, for that matter, did not bring us the what do you call this, the content of these calls, because I would have assumed that a company as big as Vodacom would have a some kind of technology where we can actually listen to the calls so that we can hear the commissioning of this particular crime that we are here for, which is justice for Senzo Meyiwa. But all we are hearing is number that contact that number, and that number contact that number, and this number was off, and that number received, and this how many seconds and how many minutes. Like, where are we going with this? I just want to know, where are we going with this? Because it makes no sense to me. I get that they are developing something, but what is it that they're developing? The picture is not clear. The state is just wasting time and more time. And by the way that Pinky sounded, she sounded really, really well. Like, very well for that matter. Not even one cough. Not even one cough. Because I know even when I recovered, I still did some coughing. I'm just thinking, did I? Because I'm still coughing to this very day. Sometimes I will talk and then I'll get choked and I will cough or sneeze to show that I had the flu for nice 4.5 weeks. Now it's getting better, I must say. I don't know, guys, what's happening. What's going on in that courtroom? What's going on in that courtroom? Oh my goodness. Why do I feel played? I feel really played. I don't want to lie. But anyways, I know the flu. The flu is just forget what I just said, because the flu is real. And like I said before, that sometimes you'll feel like, hey, today everything is good. You wake up tomorrow morning, hey, oh, by the time you go to bed, things have kind of like went south. So that's exactly what she is also experiencing. She's having a break from this flu, but that doesn't guarantee that she will be in this condition for the rest of the week, or as long as she still understands. But to be honest with you, I think this is a waste of time now that I have applied my mind in what's going on in the testimony from Vodacom. Is that we are still left in the same position as we were with Stain and as we were with Host, and I think with Mabasa as well, with some cell phone numbers that he tried to throw around. There is no tangibility, all circumstantial, and South African criminal law is not about circumstances, it's about facts. So where's the facts? So the state continues to demonstrate that it does not have a case. The state continues to show that they have not proven their case beyond a reasonable doubt. And they will still continue to do that with the little that they are left with, or more that they are left with. It's still not going to boil down to the 5 men that stand accused of killing Senzo Meyiwa guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. But we suspect that a judgment is already prepared and it's found them guilty. That is our suspicion. We're not saying it's true. We just suspect. Remember, we are the clan and we have two IQs together. We rub them together. And then we listen as well and read between the lines that this judge, he has his judgment is prepared, just like he had his judgment prepared for the confessions and the judgment that he had when Zungu was supposed to come with his handwritten statements that he had taken down, and he came the next Monday and did not even explain and say, I believe. And then he was drinking lots of water, and then he, like, to this very day, this has not recovered. The mess has not recovered. So I also saw somebody asking a question. I'm not quite sure if it was asked to me or what, because I don't know who David Matebula, guys, is. I don't even know if it's the soccer player himself that is a David Matebula, because there could be lots of David Matebulas out there. But until that David Matebula takes the stand and say, oh yeah, this is the David Matebula that was a soccer player. But many people suspect that it is the soccer player. I don't know. But the questions that have been asked about what if it was him and Longwe that had come to the house and as a result of that, something may have transpired or something. There's a lot of conspiracies that are going around, and I am not interested in those conspiracies, to be honest with you. What I'm interested in right now is that out of the 7 people that were with Senzo Meyiwa, who pulled the trigger? And for what purposes that trigger was pulled? In fact, the gun itself, why was it brought to the Kumalos? And I think my scenario still stands that a particular boyfriend of one of the Kumalo girls, obviously the other Kumalo had her boyfriend, the father of her child, with her that particular day, and the other one possibly was looking for his girlfriend absolutely everywhere in Johannesburg, then found out that they are actually hanging out in Vosloorus and whipped out his I'm just saying, in my opinion, whipped his father's gun, hopped in the car, and went to Vosloorus. For what purposes, I do not know, because obviously he may have found out more information that they had slept in Malberton, and in Malberton it was not just his girlfriend, her sister, and her boyfriend, but also Senzo Meyiwa's friend or friends. And so maybe he had his own illusions and delusions in his mind that one of Senzo Meyiwa's friends may be eating his girlfriend, inverted commas, and then maybe built up some anger and resentment and went to the Vosloorus carrying that 38 special, as allegedly has been said, and that what has transpired. There was a scuffle. Maybe Mr. Whoever with the dreads and tall, skinny, and started beating on his girlfriend. Senzo Meyiwa, of course, was like, not in my presence, came in between, and he pulled out a gun, this person, and shot Senzo Meyiwa. And subsequently, from what I hear now, allegedly, he also shot himself on the foot. And the reason why he left the house first, it's not because he pushed the intruders and left or ran away. And the reason why the father was called first is so that he can take his medical aid and come with it, take his son to the hospital and get him fixed up. Those are allegations. We're not saying they are true, but very plausible. And I'm going with that scenario. That's a scenario I'm going with. I didn't know that there was an alleged injury that was incurred by the shooter, alleged shooter. And now that that's plausible to me. That's very much plausible to me. But whatever is going on in the North Gauteng High Court, it's not make sure. The state has not proven its case beyond a reasonable doubt. The evidence is not coming together. The evidence is saying north, south, east coast, north coast, if there ever are north coast, and things like that. It's not making sense, guys. Maybe you understood pretty well, better than I did, because my IQs were a little confused, I must say. Very much confused. Well, to end this video, we are going to see a possible postponement tomorrow because apparently accused number 3, who he is having trouble with his hand out of a certain operation he may have had in the past, and so things are not going well for him. He hasn't bathed for a couple of days or something like that. So there's a doctor that that is coming tomorrow. I'm not quite sure if the doctor's coming to the court or is going to the jailhouse where he's housed and is going to examine him and diagnose him and all of that stuff. So apparently there might be a possibility that this doctor is coming tomorrow at 10:30 at the jailhouse, I think. But Advocate Timnisi asked the court if they could start at 11 a.m. instead of 10, so that the doctor is able to see accused number 3. I don't think it's going to take 30 minutes. If something like that is a situation with accused number 3 where he's having trouble with his hand, I don't think the examination is a 10-20 minute examination. This should be something that will involve probably a few hours, because maybe there's an infection and then the doctor needs to take blood samples and go test them and all of that. I don't know. And I foresee a long postponement because accused number 3, if he's having trouble with his hand until he sees a specialist and then another operation is conducted, or maybe if it's an infection, it is treated, That's going to take some time. I don't know. I'm just saying, I'm just thinking as well, rubbing my two IQs together and trying to understand the human anatomy, that maybe that is what may happen tomorrow. But other than that, we'll see what happens tomorrow at 11. Pinky comes back on the stand, and Sibanda is still going to traverse this road that he is on. And I'm still interested where he left off on Thursday, because that's where the meat is. That's where the meat was. And I think this was deliberately discarded because it was sounding as though the state is fighting for the defense, which we were all celebrating, by the way. I was celebrating too. I was like, "Ooh, come on, Pinky, spin it. Spill it." But other than that, if you like the video, give it a like. If you didn't like the video, give it a like. Anyways, do subscribe to my YouTube channel and don't forget to click the bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody that's super thanking the channel and supporting it financially. I highly appreciate you guys so very much. Also, leave me a comment down below. Let me know, what did you pick up today? What did you pick up out of today's testimony by Pinky? Maybe you listened better than I did. I did try, honestly. And also share this video far and wide, and I'll see you next time with a new video. Goodbye.